If anyone has any doubt, and I'm going to say this very pompously, if anyone has any doubt about what a good actor I am, they have to watch this film.
You're so good at this, Huma. So I have no worries. You're in a very delectable movie.
If anyone has any doubt, and I'm going to say this very pompously, if anyone has any doubt about what a good actor I am, they have to watch this film. Because every time I had to be like, bhindi, yum, and be like, yak, chicken. And I was like, what? And my insides were revolting because I'm such a hardcore carnivore. And with my father's legacy of Salim, suddenly I'm just like, I'm supposed to act in this film like chicken. I find disgusting, and bhindi and tori and batata musallam I find yum. Like, what a great actor I am. But I think that's a very important and a cool hook in the film also because she really, I think, made like not just vegetarian cooking cool, but also like was the first one to get like Chinese and Italian and like I mean the first time we had pizzas, it was Tarla Dalal. The first time our mothers tried Chinese cooking at home, it was Tarla Dalal, and her recipes. So she really like sort of, I think helped the Indian homemaker, to really like we get experimental with the world style of cooking and really introduce world style cooking techniques and dishes to the Indian palate.
I think she was in a sari. She kind of broke all stereotypes on what you need to look like to be famous, etc. She was in a sari. She owned her roots. That's
And
what I thought was interesting about her.
absolutely, I mean, imagine like today in the world of master chefs and all of that, and the Gordon Ramsays of the world. Here's a woman who looked like any other Gujarati Marathi lady in your neighborhood, who you would not look at a second time. She was short. She was not glamorous like any of the divas of that time, and that was also her fight, right? Because she just looked like anybody. She didn't have like a particular style of talking. She just spoke like your friendly neighborhood auntie, and she's somebody that you take up and put on this world stage, and she's the one who's put in an 8 by 10 kitchen, but she cooks her way out and inspires so many people. She's the first one to have a cooking show. She was the first one to have a cookbook at a point in time where it was unheard of. Like, why would you pay money for a cookbook?
Is it difficult to step? Did you talk to the family? Did you read? What kind of legwork did you do?
Tons actually. Of course, first started with like an amazing script that Piyush had written, which all of us fell in love with. And then, of course, seeing all of Tarlaji's old interviews and all her cookery shows and all of that. And then, of course, we had Hital, who was helping me with my accent in the film because I have a very interesting Gujarati Marathi, very Tarla-esque accent, which is so specific to her that we had like her own glossary of terms that she used and how she would say it and all of that. Because of course each individual has their own nuance and way of talking, right? So we really kind of broke it down, and then we were like, okay, we want to try and attempt to do this and try and capture her spirit as opposed to like imitate her. Met her family, met her kids. I felt a lot of like gratitude to the whole family for and the makers for allowing me to play Tadla. It's a huge legacy, and I hope I've done justice to it.
I tried Googling Tarla Dalal and controversies, and she came scandal free. She's got such a clean slate. How do you then make it compelling?
Tarlaji came from a time where I feel like it was. See, today I think we live in a very different age where it's a very clickbait world where everything has to be like sensationalized, everything has to be like controversy ridden. It's very like, I feel like we live in a age of consumerism and like Instagram and all of that, where it's all about the clickbait, it's all about selling yourself, it's all about marketing, as opposed to like that time where it was really about like having a skill set. There was a woman who cooked for most of her life till she actually understood, oh my God, what I do and what I can cook, it touches people, it connects with people, and they really enjoy doing it. And how she thought that this was her skill that she wanted to share with the world, which is the gift of cooking and the gift of sharing your food. Today I feel the world is skewed in a different way. You have 17-year-olds trying to have these beauty blogs about skin and whatnot. And I'm just like, what do you know? You're 17. Like when you're 40, we'll talk about if you know anything about skincare or not. So I feel we live in an age where it's all about people trying to put out more before actually acquiring. And she came from a time it was about like genuinely building a skill set over years and perfecting the art of what you do and then sharing it with the world. So yes, she didn't have any controversy. Yes, she was like any other lady next door, who had kids and a family, and she was very domesticated in that sense. And yet she had something, which was of such great value to the world. It really changed a lot of things for a woman to be the first chef to have her own cookery show, to have her own cookbook, to have a male guy, as like her sous chef, supporting her, as an assistant on that show. These are all very radical things, and I think there are people like Tarla Dalal, who really sort of were the OG feminists in that sense, and the OG like trailblazers in that sense. So yeah, and hence their challenges were very different. It wasn't that suddenly there was a tsunami and how she swam her way out of it. I mean, that's a very like, again, sensationalist way of looking at it. But her battles were also very huge. And were also very difficult to surmount. Like, how do you sort of escape the interpersonal family dynamic? How do you sort of, navigate that space? And that's what this story really is about.
If you were a spice, Huma, what would it be?
I would be a fresh, crisp green chili.